In a twist that sent waves through the basketball community, Stephanie White, the head coach of the Indiana Fever, set the stage for an unexpected shift with the addition of 3 players from the Connecticut Sun. The news hit like a flash, altering the landscape for both teams and igniting conversations about what this could mean for the upcoming season. With her sharp basketball mind and no-nonsense approach, White's decision to bring these players on board was bold and pointed, reminding everyone that she's not afraid to shake up the status quo. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Stephanie White has always been known as a coach who goes beyond the obvious playbook strategies. Her career, marked by a fierce dedication to developing cohesive high-energy teams, paved the way for this move. White's reputation isn't simply built on wins and losses, but on her knack for seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. Her confidence in making daring choices is the stuff of legend, and when she pulls a move like this, people pay attention. The decision to incorporate 3 players from the Sun was not a gamble taken lightly. White knew that such a maneuver would draw a range of reactions, from raised eyebrows to slow nods of approval. It was a reminder that basketball is as much about mental acrobatics as it is about physical prowess. The arrival of these players injected a jolt of new energy into the Fever's roster, which has been known to hover between flashes of brilliance and moments of searching for an identity. These additions were more than just new names on a lineup. They were puzzle pieces that White intended to fit into her strategic vision. The 3 players, each with their unique strengths, were brought in to fill specific gaps and push the boundaries of what the Fever could achieve. Their integration into the team was expected to be swift, but not without bumps. White's approach to coaching is clear-cut. She expects hard work and a seamless buy-in to the system. Known for her sharp eye and candid style, she has a way of breaking down complex plays into actionable parts, making even the most daunting basketball play seem manageable. The challenge lay in how quickly these new recruits could absorb her playbook and match the Fever's pace. Bringing in talent from the Sun carried some intrigue, given the different styles between the 2 teams. The Sun's strategy has often been built around fluid ball movement and defensive cohesion, while the Fever, under White's guidance, have shown moments of explosive offense interspersed with defensive grit. The infusion of new blood promised to shake up training sessions and force everyone to step up their game. White's tactical mind was like a chess player's, always thinking several moves ahead, and now she had new pieces on the board. She wasn't interested in gradual progress. She was ready to light the fuse and see what kind of reaction would follow. From the player's perspective, transitioning from the Sun to the Fever was more than just changing uniforms and home courts. It meant adapting to White's intense focus on high standards and efficient play. Each practice was likely to be peppered with sharp instructions, and those trademark pauses where White, with an almost amused look, would fix a player with her stare and wait for them to figure out the solution to a missed rotation or lazy pass. It was these moments that seasoned her reputation as both respected and, occasionally, feared. The new players were bound to get a taste of that soon enough. Beyond the tactical side, there was an undeniable buzz among the fans. The Fever faithful had seen their team struggle to find that perfect blend of energy and precision, and these new additions hinted at something different. The core of the Fever was intact, but now they were infused with fresh capabilities. There was talk of how White might deploy these players to push tempo or anchor the defense with more ferocity. Would she tap into their chemistry from their time together on the Sun, or would she rewire their instincts entirely? Observers knew that whatever the outcome, White wasn't in the business of playing it safe. The timing of this move was interesting, coming right when the Fever needed a shift in dynamics to change their fortune. The franchise had seen periods of growth, but struggled to cement their place as consistent contenders. With White at the helm, however, complacency was never an option. She had a way of re-energizing her team, turning the smallest advantage into a strategic win. The integration of these 3 players was likely her way of setting the stage for an even bigger payoff down the line. Training camp was expected to be more electric than ever, a place where White's sharp voice and quick-witted comments would cut through the air. She's known for punctuating drills with observations that make players laugh, even as they're catching their breath. "You call that hustle?" she might throw out, only to follow it up with a knowing nod when a player responded with renewed intensity. The arrival of the new Sun recruits would no doubt spice up these moments, as each player would be eager to prove they could keep up with their new coach's expectations. Fans speculated about how these changes would impact the current stars on the Fever. Would they find their roles challenged or expanded? White had a reputation for balancing her roster with deft hands, like a conductor tweaking the tempo of an orchestra to hit the right note. She wasn't afraid to test lineups, mixing veteran grit with youthful energy. The addition of these seasoned Sun players added an extra layer to that experiment. The energy that White cultivated among her players was palpable. Even in tough games where the scoreboard wasn't kind, the Fever always played with a level of determination that made their coach proud. This tenacity, however, would need to evolve with the new arrivals. White knew that integrating players from another system could mean growing pains, but she trusted in the process. The key lay in finding the balance between absorbing new strategies and maintaining the existing team dynamic. The Sun players themselves brought elements that White seemed eager to explore. One had a knack for finding cracks in any defense, slipping through with uncanny ease. Another had a defensive presence that turned the paint into a fortress. The third was versatile, the type of player who could switch roles as needed, whether driving to the basket or dishing out assists. These were skills that White likely envisioned weaving into her fast-paced schemes, where adaptability was as important as execution. The Fever, under White's guidance, were not strangers to reinvention. This latest maneuver, though, was a clear signal. White was done waiting for slow, incremental progress. The injection of these three players hinted at an urgent desire to forge a path towards something greater, a spark meant to set off a chain reaction of performances that could change the team's fortunes. It was bold, yes, but it was also in line with White's character. Those who knew her expected nothing less than audacious moves. Each practice session would be a test, not just of skill, but of character. White was bound to put these new players through their paces, testing their mettle as well as their ability to adapt. She would watch them closely, not just for their performance on the court, but for their interactions with their new teammates. Would they lead by example? Would they push others to match their energy or quietly assimilate until it was time to shine? These were the questions White likely pondered, even as she put the whistle to her lips to signal another drill. The broader implications of this move reached beyond just the Fever's immediate future. The shift demonstrated White's belief that waiting around for gradual change wasn't enough. The message was clear. If the pieces weren't there to create the picture she envisioned, she would go out and find them. It was a declaration that the Fever, under her leadership, would not be overlooked or underestimated. The move set a tone for the rest of the league, a reminder that the balance of power could shift with one strategic decision. White's decision to bring in the three Sun players also hinted at how she viewed the modern game. Basketball had evolved, favoring multi-dimensional players who could shift seamlessly between roles. These three new recruits fit that mold, offering flexibility and fresh skills that aligned with White's adaptive coaching style. The Fever could now shift gears more effortlessly, going from defense-focused lockdowns to fast breaks that left opponents scrambling. It was the kind of versatility that could be the difference-maker in tight games where every second counted. The change wasn't just tactical, it was psychological. White understood that bringing in players from a team that had found success was a way to infuse her squad with that winning mentality. They'd seen what it took to go deep into the season, and that experience was invaluable. It wasn't just about drills and playbooks, it was about teaching by doing. The new players would carry lessons learned from the grind of playoff runs, lessons that could ripple through the team and spark new insights and strategies. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.